Hi guys, welcome to our-led ASCENDO demo theater here in Germany at Lübeck. This is actually in the very north of Germany, close to Hamburg, if you're not familiar with Lübeck. And I want to talk today here about the equipment first. This is the equipment racks, basically 3 big racks, 19-inch racks filled with equipment. And we're talking, of course, about ASCENDO and all the partners being involved into this project. So let's start, as usual, with the processor. The processor here in this case is the Trinov Altitude 32, and the Altitude 32 running all 32 channels actually. So it's a fairly big system.
Lovely. Thanks, Jeffrey. Thanks so much. Welcome everybody to the movie call. I'm David Morovitz from Trinov Audio. Just a bit of information about the demonstration, the equipment that we have here. We're using the Altitude 32. There's 2 reasons for that. The first one is that we actually need 16-channel multi-channel DCI inputs. So from the Barcode for Air Plus, we're getting 16-channel PCM. So we're able to produce both HDMI, so consumer content, and DCI in this one theatre. We're then taking the 32-channel output into the ASCENDO Dante interface. So we have a total of 96 speakers in this demonstration. There's not many ways to really achieve that. You know, supporting that many channels, just first of all, is a bit of a challenge for any AV processor. But then being able to simultaneously switch between the systems that we have here. So yeah, taking those 32 channels into the Dante interface and out to the ASCENDO immersive audio system, that's what we're doing. And of course, you know, the Trinov optimizer is here to do, you know, what we do in terms of the level, delay, all the time domain correction that we do. And of course, the big challenge for us is integrating the infrasonic subwoofer. It's no secret that no automated audio system can really deal with the infrasonic. The microphones don't read deep enough. The filters that we use are not powerful enough to go down to those single-digit sort of figures that we're hitting in this room. So that's the technical challenge that we have to meet in this space, regardless of the you know, above center, below center screen channels that we have as well. So it's a real, you know, first-class mix of technology that we have in this space. And you know, we've had a great evening, I have to say. We played Metallica at upwards of 120 decibels with 0 distortion, huge amount of impact, and everybody was rocking. And you know, that is incredibly difficult to do. It's a real testimony to Andy and the team here at MovieCore for the incredible job they've done in the acoustic design. You know, to get bass decay less than 200 milliseconds in a space such as this is the most enormous engineering challenge, and they've absolutely met it. And the high frequencies are lively. It's just, honestly, it's a perfectly acoustically designed space. It's honestly one of the, if not the best space I've been in, let alone all the technology that's in here. So yeah, thank you for viewing the video, and hopefully see you again. Thank you.
The system is completely audio over IP Dante network. So after the Trinov, basically the output is fed into some ASCENDO audio interfaces that convert the XLR, the balanced audio, into the Dante stream. So a single CAT cable basically transports then the 32 channels of audio and distributes them throughout the system to the individual DSPs and amplifiers. So down here we have basically the heart of the system, which I don't know if you know how Dante works, but it's basically a normally Ethernet-based system, and you need a Dante-capable switch, which we're using a Cisco switch up here that has a specific setting. And now these amplifiers are 32-channel DSP and 16-channel amplifier, and the model is called GAN32164504. And all that stands for basically gallium nitride 32 channel, this DSP, 16 channel amplification, and the 3404 is standing for the power, basically for all the channels. Now, the other products we're having in here are our 8-channel analog amplifiers, and the 8-channel analog amplifiers is called AIA 8-6004. It's a 8-channel with 8 times 750 watts RMS in 4 ohms or 400 watts in 8 ohms. And they can be bridged then to 1500 watts in 8 ohms in case you have a little bit more power hungry loudspeakers. And this is what we did in some of the loudspeakers in here in the theater. And then up here we have the same interfaces as you just saw now or heard about from the input. We have the output section. So basically there is a Ethernet cable coming in and outputting 16 audio channels. So it's basically our Dante output interface with 16 channels. That's how it's called. And then we have the Harveys. Those are not from ASCENDO. This is a German manufacturer with 24 channels, DSP and Dante output, analog output interface. And those outputs then are being fed into our ASCENDO 8-channel amplifiers, which are driving then the surround channels. And some of which, like here, for example, are driving our 80-inch subwoofer with 10 kilowatts. There's also a Dante amplifier, and we have here more surround channel amplifiers. Powered subwoofers, so the 21-inch subwoofers, we use 8 of those as what we call kick subs, running basically from about 30 hertz and up. And then we have the 80-inch, of course, coming basically from 1 hertz and up. Just an interesting background here. Down here you see a huge, power distribution panel. This is a 3-phase, 63 amps, 230 volt per phase. So basically 3 times 63 amps with 230 volts. So there is a lot of power going into this rack, as you can imagine. Because the total power of amplification you see here exceeds about 100 kilowatts. So we have 100 kilowatts RMS power in this theater, and that's pretty outstanding, I would say. We also have, as you can see here, some video processing equipment, because in this room we have also an LED screen wall with about 6 meter width. That's about, I think, 18 feet wide. I didn't really make the math what was the diagonal, but I think it's somewhere between 220 to 260 inches, if I'm not mistaken. And so this is basically the video matrix switcher for the LED panels. And they also have video panels on the side walls installed here. So basically it's, and also on the ceiling. So it's a complete 3D mapping of video, not only in the front, but also on the side walls and the ceiling, where basically some content can be displayed. We have a MAD-VR for processing for the screen, which is, I think, a CinemaScope 2.35 to 1 size.
Hi everybody, I'm Bart de Vos. I'm a business development manager for Barco Residential for the EMEA territory, so that's Europe, Middle East and Africa. And I'm here to tell you a little bit about the Freya Plus projector that we have here in the room at Arlet Movie Core. The Freya Plus is a 4K RGB laser DCI certified projector, outputting 13,500 ANSI lumens. And it's capable of addressing 98.5% of the Rec 2020 color space. Now, why is that important? Lots of content is DCI-P3 already, but more and more we've got content going beyond that, reaching into the Rec 2020 color space. And with a projector like this, you get the benefit of being able to reproduce all of those lovely things. DCI certified means that it is capable of playing back DCP files, DCP or digital cinema packages, which enables owners to play back the exact same files as the commercial cinemas are getting. And that means you get even better audio quality, even better video quality in your private cinema. In terms of contrast, you're talking here a projector of 950 to about 1000 to 1 ANSI contrast. And that is different from what other manufacturers specify, but ANSI contrast is the scientifically accepted and approved way of measuring contrast. Another cool thing about the RGB laser is just the phenomenal way that it produces colors. It's not only about the wide color gamut, but the way it does so. And that's because of the fact that it's got a red, a green and a blue laser combining all to make that lovely, lovely images onto the screen.
Yes, we are Alex and Andreas from Alet. I'm the owner, and Andreas is my father and the Chief Technology Officer. And he's the brain from the Alet Cinema. He has planned it, fully planned it. And we are a family business here at Alet Cinema. We are doing this business since many, many years with some other media techniques. And so we decided to build a new superlative home cinema here in our rooms, and by planning this project, so we wanted to build an LED screen in our cinema, and ASCENDO has a new LED screen loudspeaker, the Directors, and we heard them, and their sound is very, very good. So we decided to install the fully ASCENDO system to support the LED wall. Our LED wall is 6.1 meters wide and about 2.4 meters high, with a resolution of 3840 pixels by 1512 pixels. So it's 2.35 by 1. Our wall has a brightness over 1000 nits.
Yes, and
our wall.
And the LED wall is combined with the dynamic tone mapping from the Envy. We have special presets and special calibration. The LEDs are special LEDs for a better farbroom. Over DCI-P3, we can build REC 2020 about 93%, and that's new in the market. And we are built this LED wall special for home theater. It had better low wake balance and also a good brightness. You can switch from 600 to 1000, or you can 200. It's not a problem. The colors are also bright. And we have special things to build the LED wall. We can make a lower BTU weight to separate the power conditioner in the extra room, and so on and so on. We can many things do that the LED wall is better for using in home cinemas.
Yes.
And here's the first one, and we show it both with projection technology, with best projection technology, and so the customer can look, oh, what is 100 nit on the projector, what is 200 nit on the LED wall, or what is 600 nit on the LED wall. You can make this on the projection system. Not enough light, and we have, of course, a more better black level at the LED wall at all projection systems.
So when you have dark content with dark backgrounds, the content is coming out of nowhere in this room when it's fully dark. So it's a really cool effect.
Yes. And so on, we have combined the front LED wall with the side LED walls and the ceiling LED wall. The ceiling LED wall, you don't see it. This is behind fabric, behind special fabric, but was our design. Of course, we have built, I think, 50 square meter LED technology here in the room.
In case you have more questions, of course, let us know. And I think the next step would be we would need to go inside the room and show you a little bit about how it looks and how it works, and talk a little bit more about the speakers, of course. Yeah, so let me explain everything about this loudspeaker installation here in this theater to you. We have 4 models of loudspeakers installed in this theater, and I would like to start off with our brand new loudspeaker, which has been developed in the last 2.5 years. It's called the Director, and the Director is a very dedicated loudspeaker to LED screen walls, which you see here. Here is an LED screen wall with 18 feet width, and we installed this loudspeaker because I don't know if you know, but LED screen wall loudspeakers don't allow speakers to be installed, of course, behind it because they're closed walls. So you need to install the loudspeakers around the LED wall, and we decided to go with one installation that installs the speaker above and also below the screen. So above the screen we have because the screen is so wide, we decided to go with 5 speakers. So we have a left center, right center, and right loudspeaker above the screen. And this speaker is called the Director. The Director, of course, it has to do with the movie industry. So the Director for us was the right word because it's a very precise loudspeaker. It has been designed to have a very dedicated horizontal and vertical dispersion pattern, specifically designed for in-ceiling flush mount and very high performance. So the same speaker also we installed down here in this stage, little stage here, and the Director exists of 2 drivers actually. It's a mid-woofer and it's a waveguide, and they're crossed over at around 700 Hertz. What we do is here then between the top and the bottom installation of this Director, we generate basically a phantom image right in the center of the screen, that the voice comes right from the middle of the screen, so it doesn't basically appear above or below the screen. Now the Director is designed based on an 8-inch AMT driver. AMT driver are very natural and dynamic sounding drivers, but they have one disadvantage, that they're very directive. It's almost like a line source, and so we designed a very special lens to basically distribute the high frequencies from above down. When you sit in the first row, for example, the angle is quite steep, so you need the high frequencies directing to the front row. And otherwise, if you wouldn't have that special lens, which is actually patent pending, then it wouldn't really direct the high frequencies to the first row, more to the second row, which we of course don't want. Now, this loudspeaker is also very interesting in terms of dynamic. We offer this loudspeaker with 1 or with 2 10-inch mid-woofers. So with one 10-inch mid-woofer, we're limited to about 127 dB SPL. With 2 mid-woofers, we're way above 130 dB, so about 133 dB SPL, and that's continuous. And then we still have about 12 dB headroom with a 12 dB crest factor. The design of this loudspeaker is that it comes with a magnetic grill. So when you install it in the ceiling, you can color that magnetic grill and you can snap it on by magnets. It's very thin, it's only 0.3 mil thick stainless steel, and you can spray paint it, of course, and there is a scrim in the back so you cannot see through. So it's really perfect for living room or media room environments where usually these LED screen walls are used. When you have a lot of daylight or light situations where you need basically the high light output of an LED screen. And also here in the front, even though not visible, we have our subwoofers, which we call the kick subwoofers. It's a 21-inch subwoofer. So we have one installed in each corner, one below and one above here on the left side, one below and above here on the right side. And the same in the very back. So we have basically 2 woofers, one in the left and lower right side in the back, and also, so altogether it's 8 21-inch subwoofers in here. They're all sealed subwoofers because it's a sealed enclosure rolling off right at around 40 hertz. Yeah. And so since we have an infrasonic woofer anyway, that is the perfect roll-off we actually desire. And the model name is the 21-inch Pro Passive. Because it's a passive enclosure, there is no amplifier built in. The amplifier is an external rack mount amplifier with 2500 watt each channel, basically each subwoofer. So let's just go around here in the circle here in the theater to show you more of the speakers that are in this theater. Right behind this stretch fabric there is a 12-inch coaxial which is called the 12 Pro Passive, because it's also a passive 12-inch coaxial loudspeaker. We have that model also as a beryllium version, as an upgrade, which is not installed in this theater right now. And we have these speakers as a wedge shape or as a straight shape. The straight shape is 8 inches deep, and the wedge shape, I don't know if you want to point up here, you see a little bit this wedge shape of loudspeaker, right? And they come with a magnetic grille as well. So you see that they're covered, you don't see the driver. And there is actually 20 of these 12-inch coaxials installed as surround and as top layer and as high surrounds. The system within itself is a 17.2.13 system. So we're running 32 channels on the Trenov. And these 32 channels on the Trenov are basically fully looped through Dante. So let's just go around here. The newest development in our lineup, which is the 80-inch subwoofer. So you see I'm quite tall, and the subwoofer here goes about 2 feet below my ground. It is installed in a almost 400 cubic feet sealed enclosure, and has a resonance frequency of about 8 hertz. And so it can reproduce really the lowest octave of these LFE channels, you know, being reproduced in home theater or also music. You can reproduce very high-end music in this theater as well. And this 80-inch subwoofer, which is called the AT, very simple, can travel 70 millimeters, so 35 millimeters each way, and that's linear, not peak to peak, because that's the absolute homogeneous magnetic field in the motor. The voice coil is a 21-inch voice coil, and we employ only a pure neodymium N50 magnets, so the strongest neodymium we can use for heat purpose in this motor. The cone area is almost 4 square meters, 3.86 square meters actually. So we can move with 1 stroke forward or 1 stroke backward almost 90 liters, so altogether 180 liters, almost 6 cubic feet air we can move, and this is by far the most potent subwoofer in the world today. So if you have any doubt or questions, you know, you can visit us at www.aia-cinema.com, and if there is anything you want to know about the theater, of course, contact us on our channel, like Shane Lee in YouTube or Instagram. And also, if you want to learn more about this theater or even visit it, this is located in Lübeck, Germany, and you can fly into Hamburg or Lübeck itself, and then contact Arlet or Ascendo for an audition session. All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it.